Last year we had Glen Powell in Hitman. This year it's The Running Man.
Stop filming me! I'm still here, you eaters.
Set in the not too distant future / alternate reality, The Running Man tells the story of Ben Richards, played by Powell. He's just been fired from his factory job for daring to talk about unions. He's a little bit down on his luck. His wife is working double shifts at her job, and they've got a very sick child who they need to buy very expensive medication for. Medication that they cannot afford. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and Ben reluctantly, with some encouragement from corporate stooge Killian, played by Josh Brolin, signs up for the game show The Running Man. If he can survive 30 days, he wins $1 million, or was it $1 billion? I think it's $1 billion new dollars. The face on these new dollars is a wee nod to the OG movie, so that was a nice wee touch. If he doesn't survive the 30 days, he's literally dead. Not only are there specialised hunters who are tracking him down during this 30-day game show, any member of the public can also catch and kill him and claim the reward. So, yeah, the deck is stacked against him. That more or less sets up the plot of The Running Man. The world building here really is top-notch. From the opening few scenes, you really do get a sense of how this future / alternate reality operates. The network control, digital IDs, the unstoppable barrage of reality TVs and ads served to you left, right and centre, the growing divide of the classes, the wealth disparity, all of this stuff is conveyed nicely and sometimes not so subtly. But we're not talking Robocop levels of political satire here, but it definitely serves the story well. Glen Powell is great. Big fan of Glen Powell, as I said in the intro. His movie from last year, Hitman, which is on Netflix, is brilliant, and he is brilliant in that movie, and he's really good in this movie. He's very likeable, very believable as an everyman, but equally he's very believable as an action hero also. Josh Brolin and Coleman Domingo in their respective roles are also good, Domingo especially. My only issue with that is I wanted to see more of both of them and more of both of their characters. In the Arnie movie from the 80s, their character, the characters they play was one character, but in this movie it's split into two, and it left me wanting more from both of them. So I'm not sure if splitting that character into two was the best idea. I would assume that's what it's like in the original book, and in the Arnie movie they actually combined that character. But yeah, this movie, I just wanted to see more of Josh Brolin's character and more of Coleman Domingo's character especially. And speaking of great and likeable, it would be great if you hit that like button, and it would be smashing if you could smash that subscribe button. Thank you. It's got a good look to it visually. It's gritty, it's grimy. There's a nice, believable, lived-in feeling to the visual aesthetic of the world, and the cinematography kind of subtly but effectively shows this in everything you see on screen. A lot of this was actually filmed in my home city of Glasgow, so it's nice to know that when Hollywood needs a dystopian, grim, bleak and grimy city for their movie, Glasgow fits the bill. Yay. The action beats are pretty good too, but they felt a little bit fleeting, almost a little bit understated, and I would have liked a little bit more action in this movie. There is a standout sequence in this involving a high-rise escape, and Powell in a towel, for lack of a better phrase. That's sure to get some hearts racing in more ways than one. So yeah, good action at times, just not enough of it for me. Now, the pace. This is where the movie fell down for me. It clocks in at just over 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours and 13 minutes. But even at that, it felt a little bit too long. The pace, it does dip a little in the middle. It also felt quite episodic in its structure, and I did wonder if this would have maybe been better served as like a 4, 5 or 6 part mini-series as opposed to a 2 hour movie, because yeah, it definitely feels like there's the character of Ben Richards goes through episodic adventures to his overall story, if that makes sense. That might just be me, but let me know in the comments if you felt the same. It almost felt like it was trying to be 2 movies in one. There's the game show Running Man element, you know, the man on the run type thing, and then there's the overall dystopian corporate controlled society, Big Brother state, and the burgeoning revolt against that. Those felt like 2 completely different stories, and the weaving of those 2 stories and the coincidences and the contrivances that allow for Ben to be a part of them felt, well, coincidental and contrived. It's the most restrained, least stylised Edgar Wright movie of his filmography. It really didn't feel like an Edgar Wright movie. Wright usually has such a unique, instantly recognisable style, but this movie felt like it could have been directed by anyone. I'm not saying that to overly criticise Edgar Wright. I am a huge fan of his filmography. Pretty much loved every film he's made, and the Spaced TV show that he made way back in the day is one of the best things that's ever been created for TV or film. So a huge fan of Edgar Wright, but I wasn't a huge fan of his Running Man. The future of this reality doesn't feel that too distant. It doesn't feel too science fiction-y, which is a bit of a frightening concept to be honest. As I said, Glen Powell is great in this. It's definitely the Powell show. He's the lead. He's in almost every scene. He carries the movie and shoulders the responsibility of being the front man of a big budget action movie with ease. While I didn't love the movie, I'm glad he's got a lead role like this, and I really do hope it does well enough for his status as a A-lister / leading man to be cemented. So, that being said, I'm going to go with 6 out of 10 for the Edgar Wright directed, Glen Powell starring The Running Man. I don't think my fondness and nostalgia for the 1987 Arnie movie has clouded my judgment here, but let me know in the comments what you think. Am I way off with my thoughts on The Running Man? That's us, folks. I'll catch you in the next video.